They would pick a fight with Jacob over and over and over again. Jacob, it tell you in Genesis 25, Jacob was a smooth man. I mean, he dwell in tents. He don't like all that action. He don't like to, be all out there like that. Sometimes Jacob would be minding his business, and Esau would come behind and do something, kill the women and elderly, and just duck somewhere and do all things like that. So here's another account where Jacob is dealing with their business, and Esau jump out against him again. Read.
Verse 2. And the battle was very heavy between them.
Go ahead.
And the sons of Esau were smitten before the sons of Jacob.
Go ahead.
And the sons of Jacob slew of the sons of Esau 80 men. And not one died of the people of the sons of Jacob.
Not one died of Jacob in this war. Don't forget, in Genesis 25, it says the elder shall be stronger. I mean, the younger shall be stronger than the elder brother. So they struck many men of Esau, and not one of Jacob died in this war. Read.
And the hand of Esau prevailed over all the, and the hand of Joseph prevailed over all the people of the sons of Esau. And he took Japheth, the son of Eliphaz.
And they took Japheth, the son of Eliphaz. Now this was during the same period, the beginning of the Hyksos period, when Joseph and his brothers were ruling in Egypt. So after this war, they took Japheth and did what?
And the hand of Joseph prevailed over all the people of the sons of Esau. And he took Japheth, the son of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, and 50 of his men captive. And he bound them with chains, and gave them and gave them into the hand of his servants to bring them into Egypt.
So they captured Japheth at this war. Japheth is the son of Esau, we read in Genesis 36 chapter, right? Then after that, they brought him into Egypt. Now this is the time that, don't forget, Joseph the dreamer went into Egypt. He got a ring for saving Egypt and was second only to the king. And he was ruling Egypt, him and his 12 brothers. That was before Israel was a nation of people. They get in this fight and take Japheth, Esau's grandson. What happens to Japheth next? Read the third verse.
Verse 3. And it came to pass when the sons of Jacob had taken Japheth and his people captive, all those that remained were greatly afraid for their lives from the house of Esau, lest they should also be taken captive. And they all fled with Eliphaz the son of Esau and his people, with Esau's body, and they went on their road to Mount Seir.
So they went back to the mountains after the fight. They were afraid to go and free Japheth. They was afraid that Joseph might take them too. At this time, and that lets you know the disrespect that they were dealing with. They got their father's Esau's dead body amongst them in this war. And they still fighting. So they took his body and they took him back to Mount Seir. Let's get the next one. Let's get where he escaped.
Verse 60.
Let's get when he escaped out of Egypt.
That's verse 60.
Chapter 60?
Mm-hmm.
60 and 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it. Now we see how Esau is now out of Mount Seir. You got Japheth in Egypt now, captive under Joseph. Let's go to the book of Jasher, the 60th chapter, in the first verse. Read that.
The book of Jasher, chapter 60, verse 1. And when the year came round, being the 72nd year from the Israelites going down to Egypt, after the death of Joseph, Japheth the son of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, fled from Egypt, he and his men, and they went away.
So Japheth had a band of men that was captive too. So after Joseph died, they found a way to escape out of Egypt. All right? Now, it's going to show you Japheth was very skillful in war tactics. It's going to show you this. Where did Zepho go next? Now, mind you, he's in Africa. He escaped out of Egypt. He's in Africa now. Where did Zepho go next? Go to the third verse. No, go to read the second and third verse.
Jasher chapter 60, verse 2. And he came to Africa, which is Dinhabah, to Angeas, king of Africa. And Angeas received them with great honor. And he made Zepho the captain of his host.
And he made Zepho the captain of his host. So if you want to look at the areas he escaped to, that would be near the modern day Sudan in Africa, which is right next to Egypt. He escaped into the Sudanian area, and they knew he was good at war, being one of the sons of Esau. So they made him, what it says here, captain of those African armies. Read.
Verse 3.
Go ahead.
And Zepho found favor in the sight of Angeas, and in the sight of his people. And Zepho was captain of the host to Angeas, king of Africa, for many days.
For many days he was the captain of the host. Read.
Verse 4. And Zepho enticed Angeas, king of Africa, to collect all his army to go and fight with the Egyptians and with the sons of Jacob.
So now he's over the band of an African tribe. Him, and of course there's some Edomites amongst them that was taken with him because he was high under Esau's royalty. He goes over into Africa and try to stir up the Africans to fight against the Egyptians because we are in Egypt, because the Israelites are in Egypt. Read.
And Zepho enticed Angeas, king of Africa, to collect all his army to go and fight with the Egyptians and with the sons of Jacob, and to avenge of them the cause of his brethren. And Angeas would not listen to Zepho to do this thing, for Angeas knew the strength of the sons of Jacob.
Angeas wasn't stupid. He's like, listen, I'm not going against those guys over there. I mean, these guys was climbing over walls, scaling walls without even touching them. He's like, listen, I'm not messing with Jacob right now. They're with their God. I'm going to leave them alone. Read.
Verse 5. But Angeas would not listen to Zepho to do this thing.
So Zepho had this indignation, wanted to continue this fight against Jacob. Read.
For Angeas knew the strength of the sons of Jacob, and what they had done to his army in their warfare with the children of Esau.
So it was proclaimed what he did to the Edomites. So why would he put his army in jeopardy when the Edomites was known for warfare? And not one died of Jacob in that war when Zepho was held captive. Read.
Verse 6. And Zepho was in those days very great in the sight of Angeas and in the sight of all his people. And he continually enticed them to make war against Egypt, but they would not.
They wouldn't touch that. Read.
Verse 7. And it came to pass in those days, there was in the land of Kittim a man in the city of Puzima.
Now, remind you, we went into Genesis earlier and showed you Kittim or Chittim, which is modern day Cyprus or Greece, was originally Asian. They were Japhetic people. Now that's a separation right there. At this time, Zepho is not in Chittim or Greece. These are Asians in Greece. Chittim is Greece. Zepho and the Edomites at that time were in Mount Seir. Follow me here. Read.
Jasher 60 and 7. And it came to pass in those days that there was in the land of Kittim a man in the city of Puzima, whose name was Uzu, and he became degenerately deified by the children of Kittim. And the man died and had no son, only one daughter, whose name was Janiah.
Go ahead.
And the damsel was exceedingly beautiful, comely and intelligent. There was none seen like unto her for beauty and wisdom throughout the land. And the people of Angeas, king of Africa, saw her, and they came and praised her unto him. And Angeas sent to the children of Kittim, and he requested to take her unto himself for a wife. And the people of Kittim consented to give her unto him for a wife. And when the messengers of Angeas were going forth from the land of Kittim to make their journey, Behold, the messengers of Turnus, king of...
Let's go to the 61st chapter.